guys, Vengeful Reader here with another video. So in this one we're basically going to be doing a build guide. Yeah, that's right. We're actually doing it. But yeah, this is a build guide for absolute beginners and guys who want to modify their cars who maybe don't have a lot of money or resources. So I know a lot of you guys don't have plasticard and may not have access to it, but we all have access to paper. So you want to try and get some reasonably thick paper. If you don't have decently thick paper, take two normal sheets and just simply glue them together PVA style, let it dry, and that'll be a decent thickness for the paper. So we're going to be using a sort of relatively semi-thick kind of paper for this build. Now to start off, you're going to need a drill and some drill bits. You're going to need some pliers, like a knife, a file, some glue, and some other more clippers. So this is a quick demonstration vehicle I got here. It's a really cool muscle car known as a Cruiser Bruiser, and we've got our medium thick paper. And we've got some choice parts from the auto kill guys, and this is what we're going to use for weapons. Now this is completely optional, guys. You don't have to do this. You can just use, say, toothpicks or bobby pins or whatever the hell you want to use as weapons, or even the ends of, let's say, paper clips and stuff. So we've got some wheels here also from Chem Seal Designs. My first time using these wheels. I am super hyped. So let's get into the build. So first of all, you're thinking, how the hell are we going to use paper, right? For starters, how do we even cut out the paper to match the car? Well, before we can do that, what we're going to need to do is de-rivet the car. So this is for absolute beginners, guys, and once you've done that, you can start to basically trace with the paper around the vehicle and get something like this. Now this is a very basic paper kind of armor layout I did on this car, and you can see I used a cardboard box piece for the rear tombstone and went around the edges with it with paper and stuff. So yeah, let's put that back and jump into the action. So we've got our car here, and it's ready to be drilled, or de-riveted is whatever the people say, but yeah. So you want to check where the rivets are and make sure the rivets are metal and not plastic, so you know what you're dealing with here. If it's plastic, then you don't really need to apply much force and you can go in relatively quickly and it'll be super simple. Now with drill bits, you want to use a smaller drill bit first before you use the big one. If you use the big one right away, there's a chance of causing some major damage to the vehicle. At least if you use a smaller drill bit, you drill out a smaller hole and then you go in with a larger drill bit. It's a lot safer that way, and it stops it from slipping or something crazy happening. So yeah, let's jump right in and get drilling. So now you're drilling away. Make sure that you keep the RPM, like, keep it, nice and medium level. You don't want to go too fast, you don't want to go too slow, and you want to make sure that you've got like maximum torque on your drill. So you go in with a smaller drill bit first and drill out a decent sized hole. And remember to put your drill bit in reverse if you do have a reverse gear before removing the drill, because you don't want to damage the drill bit itself. That's a bad time, especially when you have limited drill bits. Trust me, I had to learn the hard way. I went through so many. So you drill a decent sized sort of pilot hole in the front and rear rivet. As you can see here, the metal is coming away nicely. You may need to wear eye protectors and things like that. Please be very careful, guys. There's like little fragments of metal and stuff flying around. So yeah, now we're gonna go in with a large drill bit, and sometimes the drill may slip, and when it slips, it goes like to the side or whatever, and you may go into the plastic. But we got relatively lucky here. So there you go, that's the top of the car removed from the bottom of the car. As you can see, now you get access to all the cool bits, like you got a windshield, which is nice, and we've got the interior. So if we were going to do this car in a different style, we could maybe add drivers and paint the interior and all that good stuff. So you got the wheels here. So now you may be thinking, how the hell are we going to remove these wheels? So if you've got a plastic base, it's relatively simple. So you got these little plastic sort of tabs or teeth or whatever. You can just simply clip those out, and you don't even need to damage the axle when you're doing it this way. You can just clip those out and pop it out, and there you go. You've now got some more wheels if you want to, use them for another vehicle. Maybe you want to swap them with some other Hot Wheels or Matchbox wheels, or maybe you want to add some Chem Seal Design wheels, and then you can do something fun with those. So let's now look at the next few stages here. So as you've got your body of your car, now you can start to think, okay, now it's time to, start designing some armor for it, right? I mean, but how are we going to do that? You can't just measure every single angle of the vehicle with a ruler, because that would take too long. Well, now that we have the wheels removed and we have the top of the vehicle, we can just place it down on our paper like this, And let me just get a pen. So yeah, we can now just take our pen and we can trace along the inside of the vehicle. So we just trace along this basic shape of the vehicle. If you make a mistake here or two, it's completely fine, honestly, don't worry about it. And yeah, just try and hold it in place if you can. And there you go, you just trace around and you go all the way around the vehicle until you're basically done, like this. So this is basic shape of the vehicle. As you can see, this is a pretty close mock-up of what we actually have in the real world. But it's not gonna do us much good when it's actually set on the paper, is it? I mean, look, we can't just, you know, glue the entire sheet to the side of the car. That would look kind of weird. So here's a really awesome tip for you guys. Take another spare sheet of your medium paper, or maybe you've got your double PVA paper, and attach it to behind your paper. Now do not glue this to the back of it, just put it behind it. Now you want to take some crocodile clips or whatever you can to clip it in place, or a really heavy weight or something, and you just get the two pieces of paper together. Now it's a bit fiddly and it's kind of difficult at times, and it was being especially tricky for me. And yeah, so basically clip these two pieces together, and now we have basically got our left and right side of the car taken care of, because we can now cut this out once basically, and that will do both sides for us, because we need two of this copy. We need one for the left side and one for the right side. So there you go, we've now got our car. So you want to trace out where the doors are by holding the actual, like, the die cast right there, like next to the mock-up you've done on the paper, and then you can just copy out where the doors are going to be. Maybe you want to draw on the paper and think, you know what, I might want some armor panels going along here, like, you know, like that, and maybe I want to have some along, like, you know, that stretch out from there to the front of the vehicle, and all that sort of stuff. You can now mock up the kind of idea you want to have on paper without actually damaging the vehicle, or, you know, having to add bits and remove them. So now you just want to go over with your scalpel, your knife, or any sharp tool that you have, really, and yeah, just cut out the piece that you need. So the reason, this is yet again, as I've explained, the reason you needed to have the two pieces of paper clipped together is so that once you remove the clips, so you got your cutout now of the car, and now you also have a cutout of the other side. Best thing to do here, though, guys, is to go over it again with the knife to make sure it's freed completely. You don't want it ripping whatever you do. So we've now got our two pieces of said vehicle, and yeah, they're pretty closely matched. I remember you can always trim it down now easier with like the knife, or with, say, a pair of scissors. You know, that's really good for cutting paper with. So just clip these two together, and so you've got them in the same space in sort of like a controlled environment, and you can just simply start cutting out armor pieces. So now we've got our side cutout here of our vehicle. So this is the vehicle we're going to be working on for this video. We're going to be using this Buick Riviera. Now, for those of you who don't know, Buick Rivieras are my favorite type of car in the world. I absolutely love them all the way, like, you know, from the beginning, where, like, you know, they had the nice one with, like, they had that awesome sort of nose on it, all the way to the 1971, which had the boat tail. Yeah, I'm getting lost here. Okay, so you want to cut out some armor pieces, and as you can see, I've basically drawn already where I want to have, like, what pieces I want to have as armor. And right now I'm really focused on removing this roundish bit that you can see on the rear of the car. You want to add this as a sort of tail armor that goes towards the door in the midsection of the vehicle, like a nice sort of metal strip going along the inside, like a real sort of cool, you know, sort of iron belt kind of deal. So yeah, we'll cut that out, and then it'll be time to glue it onto the vehicle. So when you're gluing this onto the vehicle, be very careful, guys, because when this paper sticks, it's stuck, you know what I mean, and getting it off is a nightmare. And yeah, you want to be very careful with this, and you know, it will stick to your fingers, and it's very messy work, and I get a lot of glue all over my fingers doing this. But it's all fun and games, you know, you're just making the car. As you can see, we're now just adding the strip here, and the reason we are even adding paper in the first place is when you go to paint this vehicle, this will stand out dramatically against the silhouette and the shape of the vehicle itself. It will look like armor, and that's what we're going for here. We're going for that death race kind of look, and this is perfect for it. So you want to do the same on both sides. So now it comes time to add doors and other pieces. Now, especially with doors, you want to take extra special care not to cut yourself and, you know, get it the right shape. So you can see we've added another piece of armor there. But this door is way too big, as you can see. We've drawn out on the paper, and then we've realized, oh no, it's too big. It's too tall. So that's not going to work. So what are we going to do? Well, first of all, we can maybe trim the corners a little bit here, you know, being a perfectionist and all. But yeah, you want to double check it, make sure it's the right size, and if it is, then yeah, you're gonna have to make some adjustments here. So just trace from the line of the inside of the door line, if your car does have one, and go down the door as so. You can see here, like I'm going down the door of the vehicle to cut these two pieces of paper into, and then boom, we've got ourselves a door. So please be very careful, guys, not to cut yourself. Even if you are a responsible adult, I know it does happen, believe me, I've been there. I actually went into my thumb with a bone saw once. Not a good time. I think I cut about, I don't know, 4 millimeters into my thumb. Not a good time. But yeah, it's all good. You just gotta suck it up and be a man. So yeah, I should have called this show the Rocky Horror Show. But yeah, don't worry, there's no blood or violence in this episode. So yeah, just want to glue that over the door, as you can see. And yeah, you want to really make sure that's stuck on there and in shape with the door. You don't want it sticking out too much. You just want sort of like this armored panel that would be placed over the door. Now you gotta remember, these Warden cars, well, the prison Warden cars, are welded, sealed shut. They're welded shut, guys, and they're sealed. So the driver is permanently trapped within their vehicle until they win, which is pretty interesting. So this is the extra piece of the door we had, and as you can see, we can now use this as another armor piece, which is a real bonus. As you can see underneath the door, there's a bit of a gap there for the underside of the vehicle. So we just cut this in half, and we can glue it right on there, and it will look great. Well, in my opinion, it'll look great. Maybe some of you guys will be like, no, leave it bare, man, leave it bare. What are you doing? But yeah, this is my build guide, goddammit. When you build yours, you can do what the hell you want. But yeah, literally, you have complete creative freedom, guys. Like, as I said before, you all may be operating on different vehicles, and I really want to see your creations. You know what I mean? I want to see what you guys have done with this. So if you do take the paper road, send me a link, put it in the description to your Facebook post or whatever, and post it in the Gaslands Facebook. If you're in the UK, post it in the Gaslands UK Facebook, and put a link to it in the description, and I will check it out, because I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys do with this. Now, as I said, it will stick to your fingers, so sometimes it might be best, you know, to use your pliers or something, or your tweezers to hold it in place, rather than your fingers, as I completely forgot to do right until halfway through. So yes. So, as you know, the guys in Death Race, they have tombstones or other large slabs of steel on their vehicles to protect them from the dangerous things known as bullets. Yeah, you may have heard of them. And other types of, you know, not so friendly projectiles. So you just shape it and then stick it to the back of the car. Now you want to have a decent amount of excess on either side of the paper you're going to use. Now you might be thinking, why the hell would I need excess? And I can just glue a perfectly cut piece onto the car. Well, the reason you want to have excess is because you can use it to really wrap around the rear end of the vehicle. And I'll show you what I mean here. So we've got our excess paper, as you can see, and most people would just cut it off there and, you know, leave it as it be. But I think personally that if you glue it over the edges like this, just simply hold it in place. And I know the camera loses focus here, and I do apologize, guys. I am using a mobile phone that is masking taped to a cardboard box held together by pins and masking tape and wishful thinking. So yeah, we're just gonna put that in place like so, and yeah, I think that looks decent. We'll trim down the excess once it's dried, like, you know, off of the edges. We don't want this thing dragging along the ground, even though this car was a lowrider. So yeah, we're just going to attach this like that. Now, what this will also do is give us a little bit more, in my personal opinion, like toughness to the vehicle in terms of looks and stuff. It looks now like this metal has been wrapped around the vehicle. It's like this real dangerous sort of tough sheet of steel which has been wrapped around the vehicle. They couldn't necessarily cut it into different manageable chunks, they had to wrap it around, you know, like the old belts they would rivet onto ships. So yeah, we'll just cut that off there with the excess, and we'll cut it off along the wheel arch if it does overlap. Don't worry guys, take your time. And remember, this is about having fun. If you're not having fun, that's not good. You want to be having fun. So don't get too stressed when doing this. Take your time, put on some music, and have a good time. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to listen to music because I am using my phone to record. But yeah, so just cut it off like that, and it'll look nice. So you want to cut out more pieces of armor, trace them out in paper, and all that good stuff. And for our vehicle here, which was this second-hand car that we found, and it was in pretty poor shape. Someone tried to go over it with gold paint at some point. Don't know why. But yeah, we're going to extend the front of the car. And you may be thinking, why would we need to extend the front of the car? Well, maybe you want to add weapons coming out the front of the grille of the car, you know, or something cool like that. Really something 1980s, real retro style. And that's what we're going for here. We're going for a mixture of Death Race and sort of like that sort of cool, retro 1980s weapon placement kind of style. So yeah, I'm gonna add this piece I cut out earlier, and I cut out a little bit of a couple of holes there you would normally expect to be for headlights or something, but this really adds more of a menacing appearance to the vehicle, I think, personally. If you remove a lot of the detail by adding sort of like a plate along the front, it makes the vehicle look a lot more menacing and maybe a little bit less recognizable as its original vehicle, and that's a good thing. But in order to make the top of the car sync up with the now extended nose, we're going to need to extend the hood of the vehicle and add some hood armor. So this is something I cut out earlier and added a little bit of detailing to help stiffen up that sort of side of the hood. So we're going to slide this into place, get a decent amount of glue on there, and then you're just going to want to use your fingers to really get it into the position and the shape you're after. Now I want a real sort of pointed shape on this bad boy to get a real mean kind of look to it, you know, real menacing, sort of bolted together scrap metal sort of look. Now you gotta remember, these prison cars are not going to be necessarily built to last. The Warden is not exactly happy when you cross the line, and yeah, these are prison-made cars. They're not exactly top quality. So now we're going to add some more detailing. You want to cut out some real thin strips of paper for this, guys. And you can use this to add detail to the tombstone at the back and use it to make bars for the windows. And all sorts of other types of detailing. So now we're just going to add these bars to the windows like this. So you should use your thin strip of paper, hold it in place, preferably with tweezers to be honest, not your fingers. But yeah, I was kind of, you know, immersed in the building at this point. And then you'll have something like this. You know, add maybe a strip along the top to hold the bars in place, or, you know, give the illusion of structure. And there you go. So now that we've added some more armor plates, you can see we've added some detailing here and there. And we've added a gun to the rear to shoot backwards. We're now going to add some more weapons to the vehicle. So this is adding the weapons part. You can do this with safety pins or whatever the hell you want to use. I chose to go with the auto kill weapons, and if you have the spare funds, I would recommend it too. So let's say you picked up some cars at a thrift store or a secondhand store for dirt cheap, use some paper to make your armor, and with the remaining money you would have spent buying new stuff, you can use to buy some weapons and some wheels to really complete your vehicle. So we've got some cam seal design wheels here. I really like these. I am super pumped. And they come in 2 stages, which was something I was quite surprised by. You know, most wheels come as one solid block. So you get the wheel hub that you can see here, and then you get some tires. So before we can get putting these together, we need to make some axles. And this is what I use the paper clips for. We're going to cut out the longest piece of the paper clip because it's exactly the same diameter as the Hot Wheels axle I found, which is pretty interesting. Like, you know, it's really close, at least. I mean, you know, I haven't measured it completely. I go by feel, you know what I mean? Old school. But yeah, now we're going to glue the tire to the hub. Now, how we're going to do this is simple. Just put a little bit of glue. This is how you put these cam seal wheels together, guys. They're really easy to pop together. You just simply put the wheel hub in there and just put your thumb over it and boop, there you go. All together, done. Look at that. Doesn't that look amazing? Like, seriously, high level of detail too in these wheels, which, you know, will really stand out when you go to paint your cars. So simply attaching your vehicle wheels to the vehicle is simple. You use your paperclip axle and you put it into the wheel, because these ChemSeal design wheels actually come with a tiny hole on the inside, which is perfect for paper clips or Hot Wheels axles or whatever the hell you want to use, which is really handy. I can't tell you how useful this is. So now we're going to attach these wheels to the rest of the car, and you can't do that with the body attached, as you can see here. Here's an example. So you're going to need to take your car apart, and this is why it's important not to glue the top of the car to the bottom of the car. Now make sure you do not glue the top of the car to the bottom of the car at all during this video. Do not glue the two halves of the car together, or else you have a bad time when you want to paint it. Make sure you do not glue the windshields in place either. It's very important, guys. Okay, so now we're going to attach the other wheel here, and there we go. We're just going to adjust these until we're happy with the shape. And the cool thing about paper clips is it's super easy to bend. So if the wheels are a little bit off, you can always bend it into shape and get it into a position that you're really happy with. Now remember to take your time and you know, really focus on what you're trying to do, because this is your car you're trying to customize. This is your death machine that you're going to cause your buddy many games of disappointment with. Well, no, that's not what Gaslands is about. Gaslands is about having a good time. But yeah, so now you got your wheels in place. Now you're going to dry fit your car together. Now this is without glue, guys. As I've stressed before, I cannot stress it enough. Just simply, without glue, pop it all together, and then you get a rough idea of what your vehicle looks like as an end result. So you've added your armor, you've added your paper detailing, you've added your guns, and now you've added your wheels, if you are using wheels. I recommend, if you are in the UK, use ChemSeal design wheels. If you are in the US, there's a guy named Ken Overby on the Facebook. Look him up. He makes a wide range of wheels. He makes, like, I think over 100 wheels now. I'm not sure, but something crazy like that. And other bits of miscellaneous and stuff. But you're in the UK, check out ChemSeal Designs. The wheels are super cheap for insane levels of quality. I'm not even joking here. Like, I'm literally blown away. And go for the auto kill guns, because they are super badass. So yeah, there you go. There's our two paper death race cars. So super simple, super easy to glue together, very basic. Now remember, this is for beginners, guys. This is my first build guide, and I'm not used to going back to basics like this, but you know, it's been a lot of fun. As you can see, we've got our detailing on there, and it may look a bit like just a paper car now with not much stuff on it. And you may be thinking to yourself, but this is just paper, you know? Well, when you add glue, and, not glue, when you add paint, sorry, glue, but yeah, when you add paint, this thing is really going to shine, because you got different textures in there. You got the texture of the car, and you got the texture of the paper, and each one takes the paint differently. So yeah, this is what they'll look like when they're painted, and I will have a painting tutorial for you guys on these cars, which is a beginner's level painting tutorial. We're not doing anything too crazy like insane levels of detail. Just really simple techniques that all of you at home can do easy peasy, even if you're a beginner and you've never painted anything like this before. So yeah, guys, thank you yet again for watching my build guide. I love you for it. And if you need any tips or anything like that, just let me know, and I'll be more than happy to give you any information that you need in the comments below. So quickly, before I run off into the distance in my ramshackled car made of paper, yeah, remember, guys, look in the description for awesome links to awesome places. The ChemSeal design wheels are in there, Ken Overby's in there, like the links to all this stuff. The UK Facebook Gaslands group is in there, and we also have links to the auto kill guys. So yeah, guys, you know the drill, survivors. Drive angry, and I'll see you in the wasteland.